We are the Girls Who Gab.
I'm Cassie.
And I'm Bayley.
And today's episode is all about summer.
2020.
Specifically.
Yes. We're not going to make it. We've had a couple episodes now about COVID and the quarantine lifestyle and all that stuff. So we're kind of going to do, like, our idea was to talk about what we did different this summer and like, how it was good for us and kind of what made it a decent summer as much as we could. And so, but we're not going to really talk too much about really
COVID.
Quarantine because we've done that a lot. But yeah, we'll talk like a little bit about how it went, I guess you could say.
Yeah, but first, before we get into our pour one out and cheers to that, we have a drink to try.
Yes, I'm nervous.
I don't know why you're so nervous.
I know, me neither. So we're going to take a greens. This is by Bloom.
Yes.
And I have a greens with Arbonne that she says is worse than this one. And I take that one all the time. It's been a while. So I'm, like, nervous to try it, but apparently it's better. Do I smell it?
You can. I would suggest not. It tastes better
Oh,
than
it
it smells.
No, but it actually smells very citrusy.
It's a citrus greens.
Oh.
So Bloom has 3 different greens, and one is original, so it's just like a traditional greens. And then there's a berry one. I've tried that one. And then there's a citrus one. This one is the best in my opinion.
I'm sorry for the sound. You might hear it come out of my mouth. Cheers.
Wow, you really are bad at chugging.
That was ginormous. That was like 10 ounces of water.
It doesn't give you the green stash like the greens do from
The Arbonne.
How'd you like it?
It's good. It's citrusy. Honestly, I can sip on that.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty decent.
So I usually drink this.
Still gonna drink some water after.
So I'll mix this with like, it depends on like my morning, but I'll do this with like a half a scoop of the Arbonne fiber, and then sometimes I'll add the Arbonne full mix. And I used to add a Reds supplement in there too from a different brand, like Opti something.
Okay.
So I used to do all those together, and I would put it in one of my big cups that has like a shaker in it, so it has like this like spiral thing so that you can regularly like shake it back up.
Oh yeah.
And I would put ice in there and just sip it for the first like hour or two of my day after coffee.
Yeah, I would do
So
that too.
it's good enough
actually.
to just drink. The one thing that's annoying
I
is
like
like you need it in something that you can shake because it does settle really fast. So
Well, same with really anything.
right, any sort of supplement.
Yeah.
So that's one thing about sipping
But
is if you sip
yeah,
and you can't.
it chunks up together.
Yeah, and then the ending is really gross. I cannot stand the feeling of it being thick.
I don't like that texture going down. Comfy.
Yeah.
For those of you that can't see, last 2 episodes we were sitting on a couch.
Yeah.
It was very nice because we were in Cassandra's apartment.
Yes.
And it feels nice, so we're not sitting at my desk. It's nice.
We're not like sweating.
I know.
A little swampy.
Oh God.
Swampy.
Last time we did pretty well. I put the AC on and it was open and popping, but yeah, it feels nice. It's hot where I live, so this is beautiful.
Yeah.
So we're comfy. We're getting cozied up. What are we drinking?
Water.
Yeah, that's it.
Just again. If you watched the last episode, we're also in the same outfits because we didn't
Same day.
get cute for 2 episodes like we normally do when we film twice.
It was too much for me today.
Yeah.
We went out to eat, had a nice brunch, and I just wasn't in the mood for that. Yeah. And I'm going to work, so I already brought a second outfit technically.
Yes,
I was
3 in 1 is too
I
much.
don't want to do this, yeah. No thanks.
Perfect. Well, pour one out and cheers to that. Did you think about it?
Yeah, you go first, actually, because I have one, but it's tied together.
Oh. So, like, I accidentally did
Oh, do you want me to go first?
Yeah, go first.
Okay, so I'm going to do it together then. So my cheers to that is that Amelia started gymnastics, and I'm so excited about it because she
I know where you're
hasn't.
going with this.
Same, yeah. So because she hasn't, it's her first like experience getting out and playing with kids that aren't her, cousins that are either way older than her, like
way younger.
baby for her. So she's a little rough. And so I was really excited for it. I was a gymnast and a cheerleader. And so it's just something that I've always envisioned, and I'm so excited for it.
It's her first,
classroom setting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I'm so excited for her. She's so stinking cute. And Well, on the flip side of that, my pour one out is that because she has never been in a classroom setting and had to deal with listening and obeying to a teacher, and then the teacher, not really disciplining her the way we do because, of course, she's not the parent and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Amelia just feels like she can get away with anything, and so there was some yelling. Pardon me, there was some yelling. There was just not listening. She really wanted to do what the other kids were doing, which is fine. It is what it is, but there's a rotation, and it's COVID.
Taking turns.
Yeah, taking turns, and it's COVID, so, like, you gotta keep your distance. They can't sit in a tight circle like what I remember when I was a gymnast at that age, and it's just, it was a little like, I was like sitting in the back. That parent was like shaking her head and like hitting my hand on my forehead and like ducking down a little bit. But
whose
you know
kid
what?
is that? I don't know that kid.
Who's
How
that?
embarrassing.
Who's watching? It was a little embarrassing, but on the flip side, like, I left that day and I was a little upset with how she like reacted to it. But on the same hand, I'm so excited that she's finally in that like habitat, and I'm excited for her to like get out there and start doing that because that was just her trial day.
Right.
Her first class was this past week, and so it's going to be every Wednesday now, and I signed her up officially.
Good.
I was like, I don't want to hide from the fact that just because she's not listening, and I'm sure
And
every
she'll
parent
learn.
has gone through it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Unless their kid's just freaking brilliant
somehow.
and an angel, yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that this is a good experience for her. Well, like, gymnastics and everything, that'll be fun. She'll have a great time. And it's a really cool skill to, like, get to do early because you get that fear out of the way. Because the kids, they don't have any fear.
They feel just rebellious.
Yeah, and invincible.
Yeah.
And then, on top of that, she's getting a little bit more, like, outside of the home structure. Mm-hmm. So that's good
with
for her
other kids that are her age and also just as wild as her. And just, I can already tell, though, she's going to be that kid with the report card that says, too talkative in class, just like her mom, because she was, it's fine.
When I was in 6th grade, I was told I was a social butterfly, and I didn't know what that meant, but it was because my teacher, like, was mad that I was talking in class, so she moved me to, like, another part of the classroom with different people that I, like, wasn't friends with, and then I just made friends with them.
Yeah.
I was in 6th grade.
Hey!
Yeah, I started talking to them, and she told me I was a social butterfly. So then I came home, and I was like, Mom, what's a social butterfly? And she was like, who told you that? Where did you hear it? Give me more context. And I explained the story. She's like, means you talk a lot. You should talk less in class.
Pie hole, lady.
So,
that's gonna be Amelia, because I was every report card. Said something about me talking in every class.
Yeah.
So,
for I was sure. Always like what were they, like, ESU or something?
Something.
I, like, always was at S. Mm-hmm. Just, like, not quite excellent for the talking part.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. So, that's my pours and cheers tied together. Boom.
Funny.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
But super exciting.
Yeah. That's
it's like a step in the mom world, or in the parent world, whatever.
Yeah. Cute.
Yeah.
I'm excited, and I love her little leotard.
I bought 2 of them, and I'm already like, okay, gotta go buy more. Like, I'm obsessed.
Oh, yeah. Cute. My pour one out this week. So, at my work, I'm the receptionist, and I schedule all of the appointments for they're called advocates. And we recently hired a new advocate, which is fine. Whatever. That's not the pour one out. The pour one out is that I also applied for that job. And I'm just, like, sad that I'm happy to be the receptionist, but, like, I think I would do well in the other role. And I don't even think, I technically didn't even interview for that job. They interviewed me for the receptionist and I got hired. And so I don't know if I wasn't considered, like, eligible because of my...
for the...
Right, like, I don't know if it was, like, my education, my training or whatever, or that they just had already hired me, so then they didn't put me in the pool, obviously. And, like, that job, the business has a rule of, like, you can't move positions for 6 months, which my 6 months is up at the end of the year. So, like, potentially I could maybe promote or transition to a different role eventually, but, yeah, I was just a little bit sad for myself.
Aww.
I was like, dang, I think I would do well in that role, but yeah. So that's my pour one out.
To come.
Yeah. And then my cheers to that is that
I'm waiting.
I thought that you were
hear.
gonna put. I thought
No,
you were
no.
You, like it was you.
I was
I'm
like,
what is
da-da-da-da.
it? Oh,
And
I'm like, what am I supposed to say? I don't know. My cheers to that is that I'm almost done with my yoga teacher training.
Are you really?
Yeah. This week it'll be my last week.
Oh my gosh, that happens
if I turn
so
it in
fast.
on time. I technically can do so. Like it's technically a 5-week training, but you have 2 months of the resources, so you can take longer if you want.
Yeah.
And I actually don't know for sure that I will turn in my last assignment like
On
at my
time.
5-week mark, because this could be a 4 1 out too. I had a mental breakdown a few days ago because our last assignment is to do a 60 to 90 minute class and teach it in a video form, not online, not live.
Two people, just
Right.
to your.
But to a camera, teach it while doing it. And it's specifically a Rocket 3 class, which is, so okay, yoga has a bunch of different types of yoga, and I personally like Vinyasa yoga best, which is,
I do that yoga.
yeah, so the teacher just makes up a sequence. Each class is different. You can, as a teacher, you can basically do whatever the hell you want.
You can call whatever you want.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I think I will, when I eventually have the teacher training, if I ever teach, that's what I will like to do. But this is technically a Rocket style
it's a structure.
teacher training, and there is a specific set of poses you do in a specific order, and then you do have some creativity and leeway within those poses. So like,
okay.
for example, there's one section where you go down and you do a forward fold wide-legged, and then you come up and then you do a different variation of that forward fold, and then you come up and do one more variation of that forward fold. That is the traditional way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the it. But you could potentially say, okay, go down to that first forward fold and add a handstand in there. Come back up. Now go down to that forward fold and do a different type of headstand right there if you want. So you can mess around with it in some ways, but for the most part, it's like dun 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 dun. And there's this section in Rocket that I am very bad at where you're sitting with your feet straight in front of you and you're doing a series of forward folds like that. So you first put your one side of your leg to like a 4, and then you come down and forward fold. And then you come up, and then each time that you switch legs and each time you do a different forward fold, there are 8 of them in total, you are supposed to jump through and then jump back. So you push your body weight up and you move your legs backwards into a plank without touching the floor. And then you do a push up, you come up, and then you go into a downward dog, so it looks like a V upside down. And then you go the other way, and you pull your legs in between your arms and sit back down with your feet in front of you. And then you do the next forward fold. And you do that in between each of the 8 forward folds. I cannot do it. I'm not strong enough. I can't lift I can do the up part and get my butt off the ground, but I can't lift my legs enough to
swoop them under you. Yeah.
To then come back. It's not possible. So I had a whole breakdown about how I can't do this class. How am I supposed to teach it? And then I was taking one of the classes that are part of the training, and he gave us a variation where instead of doing that whole jump through, you just do a V up. So it's still an ab workout.
Yeah.
And you just hold it, and then you come down to a straight. So you're now on your back, and then you come back up, and then you go back into your forward fold again. And I was like, great, that's the variation I'm gonna give, and do that each time. So
do you still sometimes try the other one?
Mm-hmm. Anytime I'm taking the class, I'll try it at least once. But I can't physically do it.
Right.
So one of the things that I was told in one of the lectures I was taking for these classes is to try it with socks on, and then you can kind of slide your body rather than having to lift it all the way up. But you need not carpet for that, and I don't have anywhere that doesn't have carpet, so I can't do it right now.
Got it.
But assuming that I keep up with yoga, and eventually I would like to be able to do Rocket, sure. I don't personally love that strict, like I was saying, I prefer a Vinyasa class over a Rocket class because there's more unknowns when you walk into the classroom.
Yeah.
But sure, yeah, I will eventually practice with the socks and hopefully learn to do that. I think it's a cool skill to have if you can do it.
For sure.
So one day maybe I'll be able to do it.
Yeah.
But we'll see. So my cheers to that is that I'm almost done. I have one more assignment left to do.
That went so fast.
I know. What?
Oh, you're also shocked.
I didn't. How has it already been 5 weeks? So I have plans to, like, this is kind of part of the same lectures to that, because I'm almost done with this yoga training. So what I've been doing lately is any sort of free time I have, because, like, my work is kind of slow. So I'll be listening to, like, lectures and stuff during my work day when I'm free.
Yeah.
And now when this training is over and I don't need to be listening to the lectures as much, I still plan on listening to the ones I haven't quite caught yet, but I'll have still some slow time at work.
Right.
And I'm planning on transitioning into really focusing on interpreting stuff. I'm practicing interpreting while at work and all that, and, like, preparing for exams and shit.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to, like, focus in on that.
Oh, Cassandra, always a busy girl. Always
I
gotta
just
be doing
love
something.
learning.
I know you do.
I just love it. I've also been, like, binging Grey's Anatomy, let's be real. It's not like I only ever learn.
That's not new. You've always worked around television.
I love television.
On to the topic. So summer. So basically what I want to hit in this episode is that, like, what did I do different this summer that I would have, like, not that I wouldn't have done any other summer, but, like, normal summers, we're off to the beach. We're off on our days off. We're out doing something, you know. Even, I guess I could label this summer or any time of the year, but I'm out while Andre's at work. I'm out with our daughter going to the store to hang out at the store. Like, and sit at Barnes & Noble. Like, I do that. I sit there and I read and let her play with the stuffed animal things and all this stuff. And things have just changed. Don't go to parks during the day. Like, it's just different. And so a lot of the things that I did this summer was I tried to go to this lake house that we have as often as I could, which I went a lot. Andre went once, and so that was really good, and that was exciting. Amelia always gets to go, so it's a good time when we get to go. So that was fun. But other than that, it was a lot of, like, staying at home and having to figure out, you know, like, things to do and
how to entertain a 3-year-old.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I feel like it's different for people that obviously don't have kids, and so I'm excited. I mean, you worked the whole time also. Like, I didn't work, so, like, my summer was, like just straight up different from, like, my normal summers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was just weird. Like, I had all this time off, but there was nothing for me to do, and so it kind of sucked. I couldn't go and plan a vacation because it wasn't only me who was shut down, you know?
Right.
So it was weird.
When did you guys move into the house?
We moved into the house on the 22nd of July.
Oh, so, like, midsummer.
Yes.
Did that
so
change
we were
anything?
still in them. It did, yes, because we were in our apartment before. We were on the 3rd floor with a tiny balcony space, but we didn't even go in the balcony space because there were smokers below us, directly below us, and so that was just uncomfortable to be out there. So, yeah, it wasn't the best. And living in the house, we can go let my daughter run free in the front yard, in the backyard, and it, like, has totally changed the experience. Like, I'm still home with her during the days, but instead of going places, I can at least let her be out and about. Yeah. And we have a little tiny blow-up pool in the backyard, so I can do that. I didn't have that option at the apartment. And so that's been really great. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's been interesting. It's been a wild ride.
Yeah.
Good, but, like, different. You know?
Yeah, I also usually go to the beach more than I did this summer.
Same.
And this summer it was more like I definitely didn't want to go anytime there was a holiday because I was like...
Everyone and their mom escapes there.
Right, and so I did go to the beach a couple times. Actually, just recently went to up north. We went to the beach in Morro Bay.
Beaches up there, I'm sure, are way different.
Yeah, it was pretty busy. Actually, that was the busiest beach I've ever seen this summer.
Oh, really?
Which everyone was still, like, distance. It wasn't, like, packed, like, in this area when you're packed at the beach. You are, like, sardines. You're all next to each other. Versus...
Spread out.
There, it was still spread out, but it was pretty busy. And then we went to the beach once, and then me and Matt went to the beach.
And I've been
twice.
Once with Andre and Amelia, and then with you. And I've just been twice.
Yeah.
It was interesting.
Yeah, and for me, I felt like the beaches weren't any more or less busy than any other summer. And I felt pretty, like, fine being at the beach when we did go. But I've noticed that because I'm working from home and we can't go very many places, obviously, I have felt a lot like, well, why would I bother to go anywhere if, like, it's like a waste of time to go anywhere?
It's not at its full capacity. And not only speaking, like, percentage of people that can go in or wherever you're talking about, but, like, it's just it's not full capacity of doing anything. Yeah. Do you know does that make sense what I'm saying? Yes. I'm not talking people capacity. I'm talking
like you don't have all of your choices available to you.
Exactly.
Yeah. Another big thing that Matt and I usually do a lot of in general, but also movies come out a lot in the summer usually. We love movies.
Yeah, you love the movies. It's like
and
a
we
weekly
love going.
thing.
Yeah.
They have what do you have? You have that card, right? Or
well,
do you don't have it anymore?
I have a Regal rewards card, which I've had, since I
used to work at Regal. The card where you, like, spend a certain amount of money and you get X amount of...
Yeah, that's the Regal
once
rewards
a day or whatever? Okay.
So the Regal rewards, when you get points, and then eventually you can get a free movie ticket or a free popcorn and stuff like that. And then I was considering getting you're talking about, I don't have that anymore.
Right, I think you didn't like it, yeah.
No,
because it was very
terrible.
Specific, yeah.
It was like that movie, the movie pass or something. Matt and I got it for Christmas one year. Matt got it for us for Christmas. And it was terrible, and I was pissed about it. And I remember throwing a fit at them on Twitter to get my money back, and I did. Because I made too big of a mistake.
Winner, chicken dinner.
Yeah. No, so we go to the movies a lot, and obviously the movies have not been available. I did go to the movies once.
You guys.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
We went. Matt is behind the camera over there. Yeah. So you're going to see us.
Right there.
And that's who we're pointing to. But
also, if you're watching and I look this way, he's playing Call of Duty something, and I'm really distracted.
Yeah, he is intense. So, we did go to the movies. We'll talk about that later. But the other thing that I did do a lot of this summer that I don't do as often normally is going to my dad's house.
Yes.
We've gone at least once a month.
Yeah.
And sometimes twice.
Which is hilarious to me because on the same side of that topic, you went when COVID was, like, a little bit more not important, I should say, but more quarantine stressful style, I guess you could say. And it was still a big party.
To your dad,
so, like, to be around a bunch more people. Yeah,
so, like, the first time that I went to my dad's house, I think it was the first or second, whatever. He was like, "Oh, we're gonna, like, barbecue food." He made it sound, well, I think I was talking to my stepmom, but whatever. They made it sound like it was just going to be the immediate family, and it was not the immediate family.
I don't know why you thought so.
It was the immediate family,
which is
means
basically
our entire neighborhood.
Their whole cul-de-sac, and
it's like 20 people. And so I get there, I always go a little bit early to try to help my stepmom out, like, finishing up, like, the spread or whatever.
Yeah.
So I go, and I didn't think we were going to do a spread, because I didn't know it was a party. And so I get there, and I'm like, let's get in the pool. And she was like, oh, but can you help me make some, whatever? And I was like, you're making that, whatever it is. There's, like, a couple different things. It's, like, a thing that she makes for parties, not for us. And I was just like, huh? What?
So what does this mean?
Yeah. And, it meant a party. And so people just slowly keep showing up, and I'm like, I thought you said it was only going to be us.
You're like, hey, I need a drink.
Yeah. Maybe the alcohol will kill the COVID.
Or just ease your mind.
Yeah. So that was stressful. But then I kept going. So
yeah.
It was kind of like...
well, at that point, you've already...
Yeah, what's that, like, psychological thing that they do when you're afraid of something and they just, like, throw you into the fear? There's, like, a term for that. I don't remember what it is.
And that's what you did to yourself.
But yeah, so basically I was like, well, if I can hang out at my dad's house with 20 people, then I can just keep going. It'll be fine.
Yeah. So that's what's really funny about that time.
Yeah.
But that is something, going back to you have been going to your dad's a lot, which was good. I feel like
it was
nice
you're
close with your dad and your stepmom, but...
And it was nice because they have a backyard with a pool and everything, so, like, we couldn't go to we could go to the beach, but, like, I don't know, it's...
Strangers, people.
Yeah, it's kind of, it's weird because, like we were just talking about, it's not a big backyard, and there's 20 people in it, so, like, clearly it's not necessarily a social distancing.
Yeah.
Where no one was wearing a mask there or anything. It's not like I was being safe. If we're talking about what COVID looks like,
I want to go to one of these parties one time.
I keep almost inviting you,
know.
but then I don't want to
Even
make
when
you
you-
feel stressed out right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then also,
Or about work. Because
Yeah.
it's always on a Saturday.
It's
You
always
can't
on a
go
Saturday. And no one shows up until like 2.
Yeah.
So you could come with me early and hang out
Solid.
with just the family.
It's only in Chino, though, and I usually work at 4.
You realize you live in...
I'm going to be there for 1 hour?
No, you could come early with me and hang out for hours with just the immediate family.
Oh, I see what you mean.
And then still leave.
Why didn't you tell me that plan?
Well, okay. Next time I go, I'll let you know.
All right, y'all heard it here first. That's what's happening.
So,
No going back.
What was I saying? Oh, like there for some reason there's a difference in my mind between like feeling super comfortable at the beach where potentially you're around a bunch of strangers
Yes.
versus like being around a bunch of people that you know, even though I mean realistically none of us are being that careful.
Right.
If we're all going to these 20 people parties.
Yeah, we're not.
I don't know why I feel comfortable doing that, but I still go to restaurants. So like I don't know why the beach was something that was kind of freaking me out
Right.
for a while.
There's no one
I
to
don't know.
sanitize.
Yeah, but what are you touching that needs sanitize?
You're right, but I think that's what got it for me. Like, that's kind of what, like, you're right, it's sand. There's nothing to sanitize anyways. It's normally not sanitized, so, like...
And realistically, it's really, well, I don't know if we knew this at the beginning of summer, but we definitely know now that being outside is
helpful.
relatively really safe, and being in the sun is also relatively really safe.
Yeah.
As far as COVID goes. As long as you're not, like, breathing in each other's face.
Right.
You are probably not going to catch anything being
Right.
outside in the sun.
Keeping your distance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, as long as you're not making out with anyone.
Right. right.
So,
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know.
No, I'm on the same boat as you. So,
Yeah.
I feel that.
Well, I want to
Yeah.
talk about my canceled trip that I feel
Ugh.
like definitely people have heard about if you listen to us regularly. But I'm really bitter.
Because it was her big summer plan.
Yeah, we were, I think I have also said this in the podcast before, but like we were treating the Costa Rica trip kind of as a very belated honeymoon.
Yes, you were.
And it was a family trip, so like my dad's side of the family was all going, which actually it was originally supposed to be even bigger than just my dad's family. It was part of our neighborhood group,
Right,
which
I
I didn't actually know until
remember
it got
you-
canceled.
No, I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, after it got canceled.
Oh,
I
that's
was like, oh, I
ridiculous.
found out that the Zimmermans were going. And I didn't know that.
Oh, geez.
So, yeah, it was canceled. And I was so mad. And we just did an episode on traveling, and I do
Mhm.
travel more than you, but we don't take big trips like this every year. We don't have that kind of...
Right. It's also not just you and Matt. You go with others.
Yeah, and we also were going to be getting a discount on this trip.
Because the others that you go with are your parents or your dad.
So I was just like, damn it.
Yeah.
And like potentially talking about kids, this was potentially the last trip that we would take without having kids.
Having to either have a kid with you or plan babysitting or
yeah,
like,
all
not be
of
pregnant.
whatever that is. Yeah, so like I don't know if that's really the timeline that we're looking at, but it definitely was something that was on my mind when we were making this
It
trip.
was a
Is like
thought.
potentially this is the last trip we'll take without having to worry about babies.
in general. Yeah.
And so it's just, I'm mad. And I wanted to show you guys, for those of you who are watching, my planner has like a holiday planner, like summer trip planner. And I didn't find it until after Costa Rica was canceled. And so I'm looking through my thing and it says, ha 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 ha, summer holiday planner.
Because it has a specific section cut out for you to write all your plans.
I'm mad!
Yeah, you are. I mean, I'd be mad too. It's a big trip. That's a big thing to say you did.
Yeah. I'm bitter. Bitter.
Yeah, you are.
I'm so mad.
But that's fine.
Yeah. And you
got a new job this summer?
I got a new job this
You got,
summer.
Like,
which really changed how COVID went in general, because I
Yes.
was working in person.
It was like half in the whole beginning and the most important part of COVID.
Yeah. Yeah, like March through June, I was working in an environment where people come in and out and all that stuff. And then I got this job and started working from home and almost killed Matt because we had to work from home together.
Vice
that
versa.
was annoying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely had
so that yeah, you're right. That definitely changed. I keep forgetting that you still worked at your other job in the beginning of this.
Yeah, like the thing that made me decide to start looking for a new job was COVID. Definitely. Because I was upset with the way that they handled everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember you being very upset.
They did not treat us very well.
Yeah. Or just the situation very well.
Yeah. They just, I mean, I feel like everyone was fine by the seat of the pants at the beginning of this, of course, because it's new.
Yeah.
Never happened in our lifetimes before, but I did not like it.
Yeah. It was new for everyone. It's hard to adapt.
Yeah.
But there were better ways to do it. I had the same experience with work. I went over that in that episode, that they just handled it. Could have been a little bit better, like communication and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, a little difficult.
Yeah. How do you think during summer has your concerns, worries, like ways that you are careful or not careful or whatever, has any of that transitioned?
Specifically in COVID topic?
Right.
I mean, not really. I live with someone who is very concerned and worried about it all the time. Like, grocery hauls were intense. Specific square in our apartment was only allowed to be touched by the groceries before I washed it all down. Like, it was very intense. And so I was way calmer because I had that experience. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Or had... Because he was in the house, I was like, "You're the panic one, okay? I'll be the chill one because there can't be two of us, okay?"
Yeah.
But no, like even now, I'm still like definitely cautious about, you know, keeping my mask on, like at work or, you know, out and about or taking it off when I'm allowed to or whatnot. But I don't know. Otherwise, I'm not too. You know, yeah, wash your hands, but whatever. If you feel you don't want to wear a mask, that's fine. Just don't get close to me. If you, does that kind of answer your question? Yeah. Like, I'm not crazy cautious.
Right.
But I also know to, like, abide by the laws.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you? Are you more worrisome now? Are you more of a germaphobe now? I feel like that's also a big thing. Yeah, same. Me neither.
Nothing has really changed that much for me.
Same.
I guess, no. Yeah, no. But I think part of the reason why nothing has really changed is because, like I've talked about, we were going and have been going to my dad's house. And it's like, even without all of the people and stuff, my dad is an essential worker and is working with the public, and so is my stepmom.
Yeah.
And I was also in the beginning. And so it's like, if I'm gonna go see my dad by himself, then adding the other group of people, most of whom either are not working or are being more careful and only using our barbecues as their one escape.
Yeah.
Which is kind of similar to what I'm doing. Like, I usually am hanging out one-on-one with people.
Right.
Except for my dad's parties. So I don't know. I don't think I've gotten any more crazy in regards to germs or anything. I do notice that I don't leave my house as often, but not because I'm scared, but because I'm just like, well, I work here. There's no reason to leave.
And
And my getting ready lifestyle has changed a lot. Like,
yes.
I don't wear real pants ever. I'm wearing like
leggings,
stretchy pants.
Yeah.
During the work day, like work week, I do have to wear like business attire, business casual on the top. So I wear, even this is like considered business-ish enough. So as long as it's not a t-shirt, basically.
Right.
But I almost always am wearing a sports bra and leggings under it because I just take off the nice shirt and start doing yoga right behind my desk.
Right afterwards.
After work. So that has changed. And I barely ever wear makeup. Like today I'm wearing makeup because we're filming, but
Yeah.
I don't usually wear makeup anymore. I've been cooking a lot more.
Ooh, what I can say is I have definitely become the person, the mom, the wife, whatever, who will get shit done at the house during the day, prep dinner, clean, do all the stuff, but I won't change clothes until I need to go somewhere. And before COVID, I would at least wake up, I'd stay in my PJs till 10, and then get dressed in case I wanted to go somewhere last minute, random, somebody called me, or I just needed to make a quick trip to the grocery store or whatever. Now I don't do that. I don't get ready unless I need to know that I gotta go somewhere and that like something is planned out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have the time. I don't take the time to do my makeup. I don't take the time to waste clothes. Like I just don't got that.
Which is different even from March of COVID, because you were getting ready a lot and like doing like entertainment, like TikTok stuff,
social media stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And that was only for that. But I would still sit in my PJs all day until I officially decided I wanted to do that. And then my makeup would be on for 1 hour. But yeah. So that's something that has really changed for me. And I like somewhat enjoy it. But then I'm like, my neighbors probably think I'm the laziest son of a lady they've ever seen in their life, because I go out and I throw my trash out in my PJs. And I was like,
Matt makes fun of me because I do that here too. I will walk all the way to that trash can. You know how far it is.
Yeah.
In my PJs, in slippers. Like I don't even put on shoes on. I do know that because especially, so COVID in general really changed my workout routine and stuff, and I got really focused on like, well, there's nothing else to do, I might as well work out. And recently I've been doing this yoga training, so I do know that I almost always put yoga clothes, like put workout clothes on.
That's good.
I put a sports bra on, I put yoga pants on, and then I hang out in those all day long. Even if I don't do yoga right away, I usually put it on because I'm like trying to psych myself up to like, let's
get ready,
this done.
Get ready, you gotta do it.
Yeah, and then even if I don't do it right away, I just hang out in them. And Matt thinks it's gross, but sometimes I definitely work out and then I just like hang out in my nasty, sweaty yoga clothes.
I've done that before.
And Matt's like, could you shower?
You just get too relaxed.
You get to bed?
You know what I mean?
And I'm like, I guess.
I shower eventually, but like, I just like to hang out after.
I'm definitely, I'm also just a morning shower, so
At night, you're just like, what?
At night, I'm like, well,
see, what? You're a morning shower? I am a night shower.
My face is so oily in the morning. Like, I need to at least wash my face, and then I'm like, if I'm gonna wash my face, I might as well wash everything.
What? Okay.
Because I don't like washing my face in a sink.
Okay,
because
that's what
like,
you needed to say. That's weird.
So, like, it gets all, it just,
it's messy. It's a mess. You're not wrong.
So then I'm like, I might as well get in the shower and do it. I'm getting water all over myself anyway.
Okay, I mean, your method's not bad, so it's fine.
So that's why I'm a morning shower. And then at night, I'm like, I'm too lazy for this. I barely can take my makeup off when I wear it.
Yeah. I'm horrible taking makeup. But I don't wear it that often anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I didn't really do much this summer, so there's that. And then at the end of the summer, when things were kind of calming down, things were opening up. I mean, I've talked about this. It was when I poured out a couple weeks. We planned a trip, and then the fires happened, so that didn't happen.
I thought you went.
We went to our family lake that we go to
all
the time.
I didn't know that that's where you went.
Yes, you do. You texted me saying, even though you didn't get to go where you're at, I looked up your location in parentheses. I'm really glad you got to go to at least the lake with your family.
Did I know it was the lake?
Yeah.
I'm crazy.
You literally put... Her memory,
this is how bad my memory
is horrible.
I do remember texting you that.
Yeah,
but I don't remember texting you that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So,
I do vaguely remember.
Didn't get to do what? Because the original plan was
to, like, camp.
Get away and, like, out of the norm. Let's release our minds. No internet, blah, 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 blah. Which I still kept it a phone-free weekend, actually, so that was really nice. Everyone thought I was, like, gone from the world, but it was very nice and needed. But yeah, other than that, I did not do much. That's it. My summer was different.
I also normally go to San Diego a lot to visit Justin and Rachel, just in general, but this summer we did not do that. We actually just went recently for the first time.
She also has
a 6-month-old and a 3-year-old. Yeah. So she was more nervous and cautious, and that's, I mean, I've said this over and over again in the podcast throughout all the COVID talk, that like whatever you're comfortable with is what you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
Not everyone is gonna be like me and be going to parties with 20 people. That's okay. I won't be going to a club in Orange County anytime soon. That's my decision. That's
or
where I
any
draw
county,
my line.
Just don't go
Well,
to
yeah.
the club.
Yeah. In LA County where I live, that's not an option to even do. But I'm not gonna. My friend.
You're right.
Yeah, I can't do that.
OC is.
Yeah. So like my friend, she lives in OC County too. She used to work with me at the previous place.
Right.
And she came over a few weeks ago and was telling me that she went to a club and like went dancing. And
You're
I was like,
excuse me.
I was like, one, you didn't tell me that. And two, what? What do you mean? I didn't know the bars were open in OC.
Yeah, it's.
And so
stupid.
she's like, yeah, it was weird. And I was like, were people wearing masks? She was like, no.
No.
I'm like,
what do you mean?
what? Like,
yeah, I've seen videos.
That's
and
insane
it's
to me. So
stupid.
actually, that was when Matt got sick. We had just seen her.
So you thought.
So I was like, oh, it's probably from her.
Oh Lord.
But he didn't get
He
COVID,
didn't get
so
it.
it's fine. But yeah, that's one thing that I don't feel comfortable doing, like the idea of being all
Like, that's
sweaty
pushing it.
and around everyone breathing.
Yeah.
No. I'm
Yeah.
not doing that.
And that one is that complete strangers and everyone's close quarters and bars are already disgusting. Can we not?
Yeah, I already vaguely never want to go unless it's like a bachelorette party.
Yeah.
Or a very specific
I
girls'
wouldn't
night.
even go with that. Oh, you're having cool. I won't be there.
Well, not now, but I
Oh,
mean like
okay.
in general.
Oh.
I don't
Before
even
COVID
really
was a
like.
thing,
Yeah, I don't
was
even
a-
really like going to.
Yeah, same. I am a very like when I want to, I want to.
Uh-huh.
But it's like I don't want to that often.
Right, and it makes it a better experience when you don't go that often,
Mm-hmm.
because then it's like, oh, what a, like the same way that you were talking about camping being like, let's get away and do something different. To me, it's like, oh yeah, let's have this one random night of clubbing.
Clubbing and dancing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I especially like going with friends rather than, well, Matt doesn't dance,
The significant
so it's
other.
like, why would I come with you? Go in.
Andre likes to dance, but I just really like having that night of girls.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's a girls thing. I feel like it's a couples thing until I'm married to him. Like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, it's a clubbing thing because you want to get out. And I'm still very sexually attracted to my man and all that stuff. But, like, it's just, I don't know. It's just different. Doesn't anyone get what I'm saying?
Well, and like, in general, I also feel like the longer you're with someone, the way that your attraction does transition each time. And
like, shown differently.
Yeah,
It has
exactly.
its phases and stages
Right.
of how you're affectionate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like
Like, in the beginning of the relationship, you're very, like, hands-on.
Mhm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and like I feel like we do want to do an episode about love languages and stuff, so like we'll really get into some of this, but like some of the things that I really love to do now with Matt that we're so comfortable with each other and stuff is really just like sitting next to him and like not even holding hands necessarily, but just like having my hand on him or like touching skin, and just like spending time next to each other, even if we're maybe watching a movie, maybe we're both reading or on our phones
Yeah.
or something like that, but just like spending time next to each other.
I'm excited to do that love language one.
Yeah, that's some of my favorite stuff. But that wasn't necessarily how I was when we were first dating because we weren't as comfortable with each other.
All right.
So you're like more
you
like
felt pressure
that-
to like put the hand on the knee or like something like that.
yeah, and there's
Yeah.
that like anxious energy.
We like to get off topic here.
Mhm.
That's why.
It's
love it.
fine.
So-
Yeah, so one of the things a long time ago was talking about, one of the things that changed this summer was that we usually go like to San Diego to visit Justin and Rachel. We often go to Atascadero to visit our family, and we actually just recently did both of those for the first time, like relatively recently. But the Atascadero one, we were choosing not to go because we stay with my grandma. My grandma's obviously older.
Right.
So we were like,
We're
we're not
more
going to be
cautious
the
about it.
ones to do that. And then San Diego, that was their decision on
Yeah.
their part. But basically my grandma like is taking no precautions. If you listen to our last episode, you'll know that she basically told us we didn't even need masks to go to the restaurant. So we didn't even
Oh
bring them.
yeah.
So she's not being careful. So it's like
Cool.
we're being relatively careful. Like we made sure to not go anywhere for the 2 weeks beforehand.
Yeah.
So that we could,
be safe.
not be at a party 3 days before seeing her, just in case.
Just feel good about it yourself. Yeah.
And that was like right before when Matt got his fever that we were like, oh no. And then he got his negative result before we went up, so it was perfect.
Thank goodness.
So yeah, that is something that's different.
Yeah. Different for me is just the fact that I'm definitely staying at home more. Like the random things that I would go out and do. Just like me, like I said, I would get ready in the morning because I at least would go somewhere throughout my day, whether it be one thing at the grocery store that I need. I would go out and make it a trip. But Amelia loves going out with me and, socializing and stuff. She's such a social butterfly and just those type of things. And now I just don't really do that as much. I don't go to the store for one thing. I go to the store for my hundreds of things that I need and call it a day. I'm not going back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even still now, I'm just a little bit more.
Yeah.
Different.
I definitely, like I said earlier, I guess, I just don't, if I don't need to leave my house, I'm not going to. Need to. Which has always kind of been true for me, but I just needed to go out more often than I do now.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
No longer thing. So that's it. My summer's hanging out at home.
Yeah, it's very boring. And it's like, it's weird because I feel like COVID in both in one, it feels like it just is like one never-ending time frame and it just goes on forever. But at the same time, I feel like time is really flying. Like, how is it already freaking October?
Fast. I know. Already almost mid-October.
Don't say that. I'm mad. It's
okay.
October 10th. Also, weird. Today would have been Matt and Mai's wedding anniversary had we not figured out that May the 4th be with you landed on a Saturday. And dear God, I am so glad that we moved our wedding.
Not your wedding anniversary. It would have been their wedding day.
Yeah,
like,
today would have been the
wedding day, not an anniversary.
No.
It would have, yeah.
Yeah.
God,
10/10/2020 was going to be the wedding
She
day.
would have been stressed.
I would have been angry.
She was already a bridezilla.
bridezilla.
She would have been more.
I feel like I was pretty calm.
Yeah, except for the day of, but it's fine. Day before? Whatever day I got there.
That was the day of.
Okay.
You got there early the day.
You were just funny.
What was I stressed out about?
I don't remember.
I was stressed out
me
about
and Lauren
the
look at each other and we were like, okay.
I feel like I was only stressed when I initially saw my hair the first time and I was like, change it. I didn't like how she did it. And so that was like, oh no. And then the second time was, I was really particular about how the centerpieces in the tables
you were.
And so I just was like, just let me do it. I want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Or do it exactly how I just did this one. But then you didn't do it like I did.
That's fine.
So I was very
we did what we could. Okay?
Rachel understood. Rachel was in there. She's like, okay. And she like took a picture and took it over there and did it perfectly. And I'm like, great, thanks.
I wasn't doing the centerpieces. I ironed the linen and I put it on.
That was perfect. I would not have ironed it well.
Or at all.
I wouldn't.
I was annoyed. I was annoyed for you. I was like, these are getting ironed. Give me a steamer or someone. And I took a steamer.
Oh, yeah.
To it.
See, she was a bridezilla too, so she understood what I needed.
Yep.
Even without me knowing what I needed.
Oh, God. I can't wait to have our wedding episode. I was so stressed today at my wedding.
Oh my God.
The morning
It was so
getting in the car, leaving the hotel, I was like,
that was the worst moment.
Are we good? I left. I can't wait to have that episode. I'm not even going to talk anymore about it. But, yes. So, let's talk about our quote. The quote that we don't have.
Yeah, we don't have a quote this week because we tried to find, like, a summer quote, and it was all, like, too happy.
Yeah, it was like...
It was too, like, summer loving.
Yeah, all about beach and sand and sun and fun, and I was like...
This is not our lives
this
year.
just isn't 2020.
No.
So we're not going to do that, and we didn't.
So, no quote. The quote is, COVID sucks.
Yeah. I can't wait for I can wait for the end of the year, but I also can't, and that's what I have to say.
It's gonna suck for the holidays. We're gonna do another episode, like, for the holidays, I think.
I am going to do one for the holiday. We are going to do one for the holidays because I'm super excited to talk about the restaurant industry during these specific holidays. Specifically in the type of restaurant that I work in and how many banquet events we normally have. Which apparently, I am going to end on this note really quick. Pharmaceuticals are now illegal. technically, I feel like they should have always been illegal. It's bribing your people. You're giving them free food and alcohol to buy your product or to sell you on something.
I was like, where are we going with the pharmaceuticals?
So,
I didn't know where we were headed.
Okay, so that's where it's going, and it officially is now
I did know that,
illegal.
that it changed.
Mm-hmm.
It, like, changed earlier
That's
this year
a majority of, like all the things that we get during summers and, like, the slow times, it's all either family events and pharmaceuticals. It's never, like, big banquet parties for, a company coming in and celebrating the holiday or whatever.
It's just a sell.
And even though I'm like, dang it, we shouldn't have taken for granted all those times when we were mad, because it's kind of shitty money,
Yeah.
Still the same time shift, but it's shitty money. But it's a shift, and now I'm like,
it's not a shift you're going to get
no
this
more.
year. Oh, well, yeah, you're not going to get it ever.
Yeah.
Because it's not a thing.
Exactly.
But,
so anyways.
Who will do that? Somebody will take in that. Someone will take that part
Something
in the market,
will happen.
is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. You know what I remember from working at Claim Jumper is when the life insurance people would come.
I don't know what you're talking about.
There was this one woman who came in and was like selling life insurance. So she would do basically not a banquet style. It was never a big
it's in
party.
the 10 room in the back. I do know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, and so she would have like a little. She would like bring her computer for a presentation, and I was always just like really uncomfortable because like you're talking about dying. You're all uncomfortable.
I remember that.
I'm
It was about and it was talking about being out at sea, and I remember that.
Yeah.
Anyways. All right, let's end this. I gotta pee and take off to work.
Perfect. Make sure
That's empty.
that you are following us on wherever you're watching or listening. If you're watching on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button and like the video if you would like to, because it helps out. You can listen to us on any sort of podcast platform, but if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, please rate and review us. It will help the podcast. Share that you're watching and listening wherever you want to. We have an Instagram and a Twitter for Girls Who Gab. It's at girlswhogab_, as well as all of our personal accounts, which are all linked in the description of wherever you're watching or listening.
Yes.
And that's that.
And enjoy. Happy
Woo-hoo.
Monday.
Cheers.